Hi guys, just finished watching the Wales-Australia game. Wales winning it by 29 points to 25. What a match that was, eh? A match that Wales were in control of for the most part for 44 minutes, and then they just seemed to fall apart for a bit, but they managed to hold out at the end and get the win. Full credit to both teams for a very entertaining, gripping test match, one that I think will live long in the memory in Rugby World Cup. I'm just going to talk about the game. I think the first half, as I said, Wales for the most part dominated it. They played very smart rugby. I thought they were getting the mix right between being solid and efficient as well as being very clinical and good in attack. Because I've always thought with Wales. Under Gatlin, they're always good at getting the job done and just doing enough to get results for the most part. In terms of actual rugby playing, it's not always the prettiest to watch. And I honestly thought for the most part in the first 45 minutes they were getting the mix right really well. They were very much sort of being direct at the right times, then spreading it wide at the right times, keeping the Australian defence guessing for a lot of that first 44 minutes. The first try, which Dan Biggar kicked over the top to Hadley Park, he caught it. And then second try from Gareth Davis, an excellent interception. Reece Patchell did excellently when he came on for Dan Biggar. I think he showed what a good player he is on his day. Because he's always been a bit of a great attacking Tem Patchell, but in terms of being solid, and being an efficient goal kicker, he's had question marks over the years, but he answer those questions today with what he's capable of in big games. Like I said, the first half, from Australia's point of view, I think honestly Australia were lucky in the first half to still have 15 men on the pitch for the whole of the first half, because I thought both their dubious penalties that could have been yellow cards, I thought Michael Hooper should have gone to the bin for his late hit on Dan Biggar. It was shoulder-to-shoulder contact. He led straight with the shoulder. The ball had clearly left Biggar's hand, so Hooper could have pulled out and just left it, but he knew what he was doing. He just went straight in with the shoulder and knocked him down, and it was only a penalty given. I personally would have given a yellow card, and I think it should have been a yellow card for that. The Karevi one, I think, a bit more dubious. Having time to think about it, I think Romain Poit probably made the right decision on that. I thought, obviously Karevi led with the forearm and the fist, in towards Patchell, and it went sort of towards his just upper chest and then up into his throat. Reckless more than anything else, but I think in those situations you have to lead with the palm of the hand as best you can for the handoff, and he just led with forearm and fist. So he was in many ways lucky that it was only a penalty, but again, it could have been debatably a yellow card. I think the referee possibly made the right decision there, but Hooper definitely should have gone to the bin in my opinion. The momentum of the game, like I said, it was mostly Wales in the first half, and then the second half, after Reece Patchell dropped a goal, Wales just seemed to lose control and fall apart. I think the impact of Australia's half-back replacements, Nick White and Matt Tomoa, made a big difference. Both of them really sped the game up for Australia. They started punching more holes in the Welsh defence. The first try was in the first half, obviously, from a cross-field kick from Foley. Went to Adam Ashley-Cooper, and Adam Ashley-Cooper in those positions, the player he is, he's not going to mess that up. But the second try really just came, I think, from a bit more of a Welsh defensive error than Australia, even though Australia ran a great line through. Australia spotted there was a gap on the narrower side. They exploited it, went through, got over the gain line, and then quickly put it out to Haylett Petty, who scored to put Australia back into the game. And then the next try, when Australia, the momentum had swung all towards Australia at this point, and they just patiently went through the phases, went through the pick and goes, and then Michael Hooper eventually got in under the sticks and scored. And this is where Wales were panicking a bit. It looked like they were out of control of the game, but then Tomoa obviously kicked a penalty to put it within a point, and then a couple of silly penalties from Australia. I think it was more silly penalties from Australia than Wales seriously getting back into the game and getting the 4-point lead. They got them the 4-point lead, but Wales did enough to hang on after that. There was a couple of this big calls, like Matt Tomoa missing his touch, which, to be fair, Tomas Williams did absolutely brilliantly to keep the ball in play and just flick it back into play. And then later on, Reece Patchell, when Wales still had the ball, I thought they should have kept it going through the phases, even though they were close to their own try line. And he just kicked the ball straight didn't kick it out, didn't kick it into touch, and just invited pressure back on straight away. But luckily, Wales managed to turn it over at a breakdown and finish the game from there. So overall, game of two halves, very much. I think Wales probably just about deserved it, and that's going to be a crucial win for them going forwards. Looks like they're going to be the winners of the group going into the quarterfinals, and most likely playing France in the quarterfinals going forwards. I can't see Wales losing to either Uruguay or Fiji in their last two games, and Australia most likely playing England in the quarters, I'd say. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think Wales can be, happy enough. I mean, it's those sort of games that shows your mettle to me as if you want to be serious contenders for the World Cup. And I think Wales definitely showed that. I'm not saying Wales are going to win the World Cup, but they definitely showed with that kind of ability just to see the game out, even if they weren't playing particularly well in the second half. I think they showed, that sort of ability just to, get it over the line when it mattered. And that is what champions do, really. That's what teams who want to be champions do. They know how to get it done when it matters. So overall, like I said, enjoyed the match. Well done to Wales. Commiserations, Australia. Been a cracking World Cup so far. I look forward to Scotland-Samoa tomorrow. Praying for a Scotland win there and a good Scotland win to keep us in contention with having a good World Cup ourselves, but we'll see what happens there. I'll do a review of that match tomorrow, and hopefully the rest of the tournament lives up to the high standards. That's all I've got to say. I'm not going to say any more because I sound like I'm just rambling just now. Hope you have an excellent day, guys, and I'll catch you later on.